Marcus Hale had seen many strange things in deep space, but the battlefield drifting before him was unlike anything he had ever found. Wrecked starships floated in silence, broken into sharp metal pieces that spun slowly in the dark. Faded energy burns covered their hulls, glowing like dying embers. No distress signals, no survivors. Only the cold echo of a fight long over. His small salvage ship, the Warden, glided between the debris. Marcus kept his hands steady on the controls, eyes sharp. He was used to exploring dangerous places, but something about this wreck field felt wrong. There were no signs of who had attacked or why. AI scan for life, Marcus said, scanning. His ship replied in a calm, synthetic voice. No life detected. Wait, correction. One faint reading. Distance, 800 meters. Inside an escape pod, Marcus raised an eyebrow. Show me. A small red dot appeared on the screen. The pod drifted near the broken wing of a large crystalline ship. Its hull shimmered like ice, reflecting starlight. Definitely alien. Definitely unlike anything humans had built. Marcus sighed. He hadn't planned on a rescue mission today. But turning away from someone who needed help was not something he could do. He guided the ship closer with careful precision. When the escape pod came into view, he saw cracks along its surface. Something inside was glowing, softly pale blue, unsteady. Life form is weak, the AI warned. Recommend immediate medical support if retrieved. Then let's move, Marcus said. The mechanical arms of the Warden reached out and clamped onto the pod. With a soft hiss, the airlock sealed around it. Marcus hurried to the docking chamber just as the pod door slid open. Inside lay an alien woman. Her skin was pale silver, faintly shining like moonlight. Crystal-like patterns ran along her arms, glowing weakly. Her long hair looked almost like strands of glass, smooth and transparent at the edges. She was badly hurt, breathing fast and shallow. When her eyes fluttered open, Marcus stepped back in surprise. They were bright, violet, filled with fear and desperation. Please, she whispered in a fragile voice. Please help me, human. I swear eternal loyalty. Marcus blinked. That was not something he expected to hear. It's okay, he said quickly, raising his hands to show he meant no harm. You're safe. You're on my ship. I'm not here to hurt you. Her eyes widened even more, and for a moment he worried she might collapse. But she stared at him as if he were her last hope in the whole galaxy. I am Cerise. Cerise Valkyra, she said slowly. My people. Attacked my clan. In danger, please. Help. We'll talk after you're treated, Marcus said. Can you move? She tried, but pain shot through her body. I cannot. Her voice broke. Without thinking, Marcus gently lifted her into his arms. She weighed far less than a human, almost light as air. As he carried her to the medical room, she watched him closely. Confusion mixing with fear, he set her down on the medical bed and started the healing systems. Warm light scanned her, repairing tissue damage and stabilizing her heartbeat. Cerise let out a shaky breath. You saved me, Marcus shrugged lightly. Seemed like the right thing to do. To his surprise, she looked almost shocked by those words. My people. We were hunted, she whispered. No one else would help us. Why would a human? Because someone needed help, Marcus said. Simple as that. Cerise stared at him like she had never heard something so strange. Minutes passed while the medical machines worked. Slowly, her trembling stopped, and color returned to her shining skin. She was still weak, but no longer in danger of dying. When she could finally speak clearly, she said, Human, you do not understand the vow I made. Eternal loyalty is not simply words. Among the Aurelian, my people, an oath like that is sacred. Binding. It cannot be broken unless the one who receives it releases it. Marcus paused, unsure how to respond. You didn't need to make any oath. I was going to help you anyway. Cerise shook her head. The oath was not for you. It was for my people. My clan needs someone strong, someone free from fear, someone like you. You saved me, and in doing so, you are now tied to my mission." Marcus rubbed the back of his neck. This was getting complicated fast. "All right," he said calmly. "Let's start with what happened. Who attacked your ship?" Cerise closed her eyes for a moment, remembering the terror she had fled. "They call themselves the Null Harvesters." A cold chill ran down Marcus's spine. He had heard whispers of them shadowy ships that appeared without warning, wiping out entire small colonies. No survivors. No explanations. "What do they want?" Marcus asked. "To consume," she said softly. "They consume everything that lives. My people fought them, but we were not ready. They destroyed our fleet. My clan is one of the last Aurelian groups left. They will not survive another attack." Marcus exhaled slowly. He had stepped into something far bigger than he expected. "Why me?" he asked. "There must be other allies, other species who can help your clan. No one believes we still live. The harvesters erase every trace. We sent messages for help. No one came." Her eyes met his bright, desperate, filled with hope and fear. "You came," she whispered. "A human. A stranger came. That is why I swore loyalty. Not because you saved me, but because you chose to." Marcus looked away, uncomfortable with the weight of her words. He was just a salvage pilot, not a hero, but the look in her eyes told him she believed he could be. He sighed. "All right. First, you rest. Then we figure out what comes next. I'm not promising anything until I know the whole picture, but I'm not leaving your people to die." Cerise relaxed, a faint glow returning to her crystal-patterned skin. "Thank you, Marcus Hale. Damned." As the medical lights dimmed, Marcus stepped out of the room. His mind raced with questions and fear. He had rescued one alien woman. Now, might have to save an entire species. And somewhere out in the dark, the Null Harvesters were still hunting. Marcus Hale sat in the command chair of the Warden, staring at the swirling star map. Lines of glowing markers showed destroyed ships, vanished stations, and dead zones of silence, places touched by the Null Harvesters. He didn't like any of it. Behind him, the medical room door slid open. Cerise Valcara stepped out slowly, holding the wall for balance. Though she still looked weak, her crystal-like skin shone brighter now, warmed by healing. Marcus turned. "Feeling better?" Cerise nodded softly. "Your medical systems are simple, but effective. Humans surprise me." "We do that a lot," Marcus said with a small smile. "Sit down. You shouldn't be standing long." She sat across from him, her glowing violet eyes studying everything with sharp curiosity. Every blinking light, every screen, every metal surface, she examined it like she was trying to understand humans just by looking at their machines. "Marcus Hale," she said quietly. "You asked earlier why I chose you." He leaned back. "Yeah, seems like a big responsibility." Cerise folded her hands in her lap. "Among the Aurelian, an oath is more than a promise. When I swore loyalty, something inside me connected to you. Not control, not servitude. A bond of purpose. I will fight for your safety, as long as you choose to help my clan." Marcus frowned. "You make it sound like I have some kind of power over you?" Cerise shook her head quickly. "No, you do not command me. But my vow gives you access to something else, our memory fields." "Memory fields?" Marcus repeated. She lifted her hand. A faint light formed above her palm, spinning like tiny shards of glass. "The Aurelian do not store knowledge in books. We store it in crystal memory. The bond allows you to understand. Our strategies, our ship designs, our history only, the parts I choose to share. So I get alien war knowledge downloaded into me," Marcus asked. "Not downloaded, guided." She looked down. "Gone only because my people need help." Marcus rubbed his forehead. He had come here to salvage a broken battlefield, not become a key to an alien civilization's survival. "So what's the plan?" he asked. "We can't face the Null Harvesters alone." Cerise nodded. "No, but we must reach my homeworld, the Aurelian Citadel. My clan still hides there. It is the last stronghold we have left." The star map glowed brighter as Marcus zoomed out to show her home system. "It was far at least 2 days of warp travel. And the Harvesters?" he asked. "They will return," Cerise whispered. "They always return." Marcus looked at her. She was terrified, but she was trying hard to hide it. Then we'll have to be fast, he said. Strap in. We leave now. The ship's engines roared to life, and the warden jumped into warp. Stars stretched into long lines outside the windows. Cerise watched them silently, her expression unreadable. After a while, she spoke again. Do humans always help strangers? Marcus laughed lightly. Not always, but some of us try. Cerise tilted her head. And why do you risk your life for me? You have no reason, no reward. Marcus looked out at the glowing warp tunnel, because someone should. If I don't help, who will? Cerise breathed slowly, almost in awe. Humans truly are different. He shrugged. Maybe we just like doing impossible things. Cerise smiled for the first time, a small, gentle smile that lit the patterns across her cheeks. My people believed humans were chaotic, irresponsible, and reckless. But after meeting you, perhaps those qualities are strengths. Marcus turned. So your people know about humans? Very little, Cerise admitted. We avoid contact. We live in distant sectors. But we study many species from far away. Study us for what? To decide if you could be allies or a threat. Marcus raised an eyebrow. And which one did we end up being? Cerise stared at him for a long moment. I believe humans can be allies, if they choose to be. Well, Marcus said, let's hope we're right. Hours passed. Cerise rested in the co-pilot's seat, still weak but alert. Marcus monitored the scanners, searching for trouble. Suddenly the ship alarm beeped. Marcus stiffened. Unidentified signal. Ahead of us, Cerise leaned toward the screen. Her glowing eyes widened. It's them. A dark shape emerged from warp sleek, silent, and shaped like a long shadow. Black metallic tendrils spread across its hull, absorbing light instead of reflecting it. A Null Harvester scout ship. Marcus whispered, Great. Perfect timing. Cerise grabbed the armrest. Do not engage. Their armor is too strong. But Marcus grinned. You said anything about fighting? He reached for the controls. The warden dove sharply, twisting under the harvester ship. The enemy fired a pulse of black energy, but Marcus rolled the ship sideways just in time. Cerise clung to the seat. Humans fly like mad creatures. Thank you, Marcus called back, flipping a switch. That means it's working. He activated a burst of engine heat, leaving behind a trail of hot plasma. The harvester's sensors reacted, scanning the false trail, giving Marcus seconds to escape. With a sudden jump, the warden sped into a narrow asteroid cluster. Sharp rocks spun everywhere. Cerise stared in horror. Marcus, this is suicide. He winked. Not if you trust me. The harvester ship followed too fast, too confident. Marcus weaved through the asteroids with impossible timing. Relying on instinct more than logic, a large spinning rock passed inches from the hull. Cerise gasped. You are insane, Marcus grinned. Humans call it talent. Finally, he spotted a narrow gap between two huge asteroids. The harvester ship was larger, too large. Hold on, he shouted. The warden shot through the gap just as the harvester slammed into the asteroid, crushed by its own momentum. A silent explosion bloomed behind them. Cerise could only stare. You defeated a harvester scout with no weapons? Marcus shrugged. Who needs weapons when your enemies can crash themselves? Cerise slowly placed her hands over her heart, a gesture of deep respect among her people. Marcus hail, she whispered. Now I understand why my vow bound itself to you. You do not fear the impossible. Marcus checked the screens again. Let's hope your clan thinks the same. We'll reach your world by morning. Cerise looked ahead, determination replacing fear. Then let us save my people. Together. The next morning, the warden dropped out of warp near the Aurelian home system. Marcus Hale and Saris Valcara stood together at the command window. Eyes wide as the view unfolded before them. Huge floating crystal rings surrounded the planet like shimmering shields. The world itself glowed with bright blue light, dotted with radiant structures that sparkled even from space. It was beautiful, peaceful, like a dream carved from starlight. But peace never lasts. Marcus saw it first. Cerise, look. Near the outer ring, dark shapes hovered like hungry shadows. Their metal tendrils curled and twisted, absorbing light like they were swallowing it whole. Null harvester ships, too many, Cerese's breath caught. No. They arrived before us. Her voice trembled. My clan. They're already fighting. Lights flickered along the shield rings as powerful energy blasts hit them. The planet shook with every strike. The harvester fleet grew thicker, surrounding the world like a black storm. Marcus placed a steady hand on her shoulder. We made it, and we're not leaving. Cerise closed her glowing violet eyes, holding back fear. If those ships break through, the Aurelian will fall. Marcus sat down at the controls. Then let's make sure that doesn't happen. As the warden approached the battlefield, the Aurelian defense ships appeared. They were shaped like sharp, beautiful crystals, lightweight, elegant, but clearly damaged. Some ships flickered with lost power, others drifted half-destroyed. Cirrus watched them with pain in her eyes. These are my people, my family. Suddenly, a message crackled through the speakers in a melodic, crystal-like language. Cerise sat upright. They recognized my life signature. The screen flickered. An Aurelian commander appeared tall, shining, with crystal armor covering her shoulders. Her eyes widened when she saw Cerise. Cerise Velcara. You live, the commander said. Cerise bowed her head. Commander Lyara, we escaped the first attack. This human saved me and brings warning of the harvester's return. The commander looked at Marcus with sharp curiosity. A human? How? Unexpected. Marcus smirked. Seems I'm getting that reaction a lot. Before the commander could ask more, the entire ship shook. Another massive harvester blast slammed into the shield rings. Liara turned urgent. We cannot hold them much longer. Our energy reserves are failing. We need a strategy. Cerise looked at Marcus. You said humans find new paths when there are none? Marcus nodded. Then let's find one. The Aurelian leaders gathered on a comlink channel, crystal scholars, battle strategists, and guardians. Their voices echoed like ringing chimes. All eyes turned to Marcus. A simple human in a simple ship. Cerise spoke first. He outmaneuvered a harvester scout with only instinct, and he carries access to our memory fields through my oath. He can help. Liara hesitated. A human cannot lead us. Marcus shrugged. Then don't think of me as a leader. Think of me as something more annoying, a problem you can't ignore. A few Aurelian actually smiled at this. Marcus tapped the star map, zooming in on the harvester fleet. Their ships are strong. Too strong to fight head-on. But they do have a weakness. Cerise nodded softly. The command node. Marcus pointed. A large harvester vessel sat at the center of the fleet, surrounded by smaller ones. That's the one, Marcus said. Take out the command node, and the rest lose coordination. They won't fall apart completely, but they'll turn slower. Act slower. They'll be vulnerable. Liara shook her head. We tried. Their defenses are impossible to pierce. Marcus grinned. Then stop trying to pierce them. Trick them instead. Cerise looked intrigued. Like in the asteroid field. Exactly, Marcus said. Aurelian ships are fast. Human ships, well, most are reckless. Put those together, and we might hit them where they don't expect. He pointed at a narrow gap in the harvester formation. We fly through there. It's dangerous, but their sensors are slow to track small, thin ships. Liara stared at the map. That path is almost impossible. Marcus cracked a confident smile. Almost. Minutes later, the plan began. The Aurelian ships aligned in a spear-shaped formation, shining like blue crystals preparing to strike. Their engines hummed with renewed courage. The warden took position at the front, guiding them. Cerise stood beside Marcus, calm but focused. My people are ready? You okay? Marcus asked. She nodded. With you. I feel hope. The squadron flew toward the harvester fleet. As they approached, black metal tendrils stretched toward them, preparing to intercept. Stay close, Marcus said, and trust me. The formation shot forward. Harvester beams fired sharp, deadly lines of darkness. Marcus twisted the ship sharply, dodging as the Auralian ships followed perfectly behind him. Their crystal hulls shimmered with every near strike. Cerise gripped the console. "They're locking onto us." "Not for long," Marcus said. He dove downward, cutting through the narrow gap between two harvester cruisers. The gap was tiny, barely wider than the Warden, but Marcus kept the ship steady. Sparks flew as metal brushes of enemy armor scraped their shields. Auralian ships slipped through like shards of light. Alarms screamed. Marcus shouted, "Release the decoy crystals." Cerise slammed a button. Small crystal fragments launched behind them, glowing bright. Harvester sensors reacted instantly, scanning the decoys instead of the real ships. The enemy formation shifted slightly, just slightly. "Enough, now," Marcus yelled. The Auralian formation broke into 3 groups, weaving around the enemy ships. Confusion spread through the harvester ranks as their slow sensors struggled to track the sudden change. For the first time, the Black Fleet hesitated. Marcus saw the command node massive. Dark, pulsing with hostile energy. All ships. Focus fire on the central node. Auralian crystals lit up with blinding blue beams. Dozens of radiant blasts cut through the darkness, striking the node from all directions. The harvester vessel trembled, cracks forming along its surface. A second wave hit it, a third. Suddenly, the command node exploded into a huge burst of violet and black fire. The entire harvester fleet froze. Cerise gasped. "It worked." Marcus. "It worked." Marcus let out a breath he didn't know he was holding. "We did it. We actually did it." Leora's voice echoed over comms, filled with relief. "Human, your strategy saved us. We owe you more than gratitude." But Marcus shook his head. "Save the thanks for later. This battle isn't over yet." The harvester ships, though weakened, were regrouping. Slowly, painfully, they prepared for one final attack, larger than the first. Cerise turned pale. "If they strike again, the shields will fail." Marcus clenched his fists. "Then we need help. A lot of it, fast." Cerise stared at him. "From who?" Marcus's eyes hardened with determination. "From humanity." The harvester fleet drifted in the distance, wounded, but not defeated. Their dark ships slowly rearranged into a new formation, larger than before. A cold silence spread across space as they prepared for their final strike on the Auralian world. Inside the Wardens, Marcus Hale stared at the screens with a tightening fear. He could feel the pressure in the air, like the whole galaxy was holding its breath. Cerise stood beside him, her crystal patterns glowing dimly. "Marcus, if they attack again, the shields will fall. My people cannot survive another battle." Marcus crossed his arms. "Then we won't let it happen." Cerise looked at him with hopeless eyes. "Our forces are too few. The Auralian cannot stand alone." Marcus sat down at the controls and opened a communication channel to the human networks. "Then it's time to stop standing alone." He typed a message, short, clear, and urgent. "To any human who can hear this, this is Marcus Hale. A peaceful species is under attack by a threat you can't imagine. If the Auralian fall today, humanity falls tomorrow. We need ships. We need fighters. We need you." He sent the message into every open human frequency. Explorers, traders, outposts, smugglers, private fleets. Anyone who might listen. Cerise watched him. "Will they come?" Marcus smiled softly. Humans don't ignore danger. Or friends. But he wasn't sure. He could only hope. Minutes passed, then an hour. The sky remained empty. No new signals. No ships. Nothing. Cerise lowered her head. "Maybe your people did not hear you. Or maybe they simply do not care." Marcus shook his head. "Trust me. Humans care. Sometimes they're just late." Before Cerise could reply, the radar beeped loudly. Marcus's eyes shot to the screen. A warp signature appeared, then another, then 10. Cerise gasped. "What is that?" Marcus stood up slowly, a smile forming. "Those are humans." One by one, ships burst out of war-crusted freighters, quick fighters, patched-together cruisers, scrappy mining vessels with converted weapons. Every type of ship you could imagine. Some painted with bright colors. Some held together by bolts and hope. Some old, some new, all human. A voice cracked through the speakers. "Marcus Hale, you crazy fool. You really picked a fight with an entire harvester fleet?" Marcus laughed. "Good to see you too, Captain Doran." More voices joined. "We heard your call. No one messes with peaceful folks on our watch. Let's show these monsters what humans are made of. HFY, humanity for the win." Cerise stared in shock as more and more ships arrived. Dozens became hundreds. A small human armada filled the sky, shining with chaotic, mismatched energy. Even Commander Liara appeared on the comlink, unable to hide her amazement. "Cerise, human unity is astonishing," Cerise whispered. "I did not believe they would come. But Marcus, you were right," he winked. "We're full of surprises." The Harvester fleet reacted immediately. Black ships shifted into attack formation, gathering their dark energy for a massive strike that would destroy everything in their path. Marcus tightened his seatbelt. "All right, Cerise, time for round 2. Lyra's voice sounded across the shared channel. "Our Raylan forces will follow your lead." Marcus Hale. Marcus blinked. "Wait, me? I'm not a commander?" Cerise touched his arm gently. "You already led once. You can lead again." Marcus exhaled slowly. "Fine, let's do this." He opened the general human channel. "All right, everyone, listen up. Here's the plan," Doran cut in. "Let me guess. Something crazy." Marcus grinned. "Always." The Harvester fleet moved first. Dozens of black beams shot forward like knives of darkness. Aiming for the Auralian shields, Marcus yelled. "All human ships scatter formation. Harass their flanks." The sky exploded with movement. Human ships flew like wild sparks, weaving through the enemy fire with reckless skill. Some turned sharply, others spun, some purposely veered in unpredictable paths. Harvester sensors struggled. Their slow, heavy minds couldn't track hundreds of irregular, unplanned movements. Ceres watched with awe. "Your people fly like storms."
"Exactly,"
Marcus shouted. "We confused them. You hit them." Liara obeyed. Arilan forces, firing line formation. Crystal ships aligned with perfect precision behind the human chaos dance. Their blue beams fired in synchronized waves, striking the weakened Harvester ships. Black armor cracked. Dark ships fell. But the Harvester center remained strong, massive, glowing, ready to unleash a wave that would destroy both fleets. Cerise pointed. "Marcus, the core ship is charging energy." Marcus saw it. A huge Harvester dreadnought, larger than anything before, gathering power for a final death strike. "If that fires," Marcus said, "everything ends." He turned to Cerise. "We need to take it out."
Please nodded.
Together, Marcus opened the channel again. "Doran, clear a path for us." Doran barked a laugh. Already on it. Human ships swarmed the dreadnought's sides, firing everything they had: missiles, lasers, kinetic slugs, improvised scrap cannons. Smoke and sparks erupted. Marcus pushed the Warden forward at full speed. Cerise braced herself. "Marcus, please be careful. No promises." They shot through the battlefield like a bullet of light. Harvester drones swarmed around them. But the Auralian ships destroyed them from behind with precise beams. Marcus flew low, skimming the dreadnought's hull. Sparks rained down the windows, spotted a faintly glowing point. There, the power core vent. Marcus turned hard. The ship groaned. Panels shook. He aimed the plasma cutters directly at the vent. "Cerise, fire." Cerise slammed the trigger. A beam of pure blue crystal energy shot forward, merging with the Warden's plasma stream. The combined blast hit the Vintan, the dreadnought, exploded in a massive wave of black and violet light. The shockwave pushed the Warden spinning wildly, but Marcus regained control, Breathing hard, Cerise gasped. Marcus, you did it. Marcus smiled weakly. No, we did it. Around them, the remaining harvester ships fell into chaos, confused and powerless, without their core ship. Human and Auralian forces cleaned up the remnants quickly. The battle was won. Hours later, the Auralian citadel shone brighter than ever. Survivors cried out in joy. The shield rings hummed peacefully. The skies were safe. Cerise stood beside Marcus on a crystal balcony overlooking her homeworld. My people live because of you, she whispered. My oath to you is fulfilled. You don't need to swear anything. You never did. Cerise's eyes glowed warmly. Then I will stay by choice. Not because of an oath. Marcus smiled. I'd like that. Commander Liara approached and bowed respectfully. Humanity has earned the gratitude of the Auralian. From this day forward, our species stand as allies. Marcus looked up at the stars. Then let's make sure we keep each other alive, somewhere in the galaxy. New stories of humans and Auralian working together had just begun.